without further ado, let's the man. I'm bring down the man of the hour, Mr. Taika Waititi.
Thank you. We decided that we should just have this chat now because it's like 45 minutes of credit. you don't need to read all that. Well, I guess you could just keep it going. And
Yeah, we'll keep it going.
have some lights though. We could have more lights.
Yeah, we
instead of this like kangaroo hunting spotlight. Already getting a headache. Whoa! I caught another spotlight. Awesome.
All right, so Taika.
Yes, excellent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just,
AMA, man.
AMA.
Yeah,
How you
ask
doing?
me anything.
Oh yes, I got it. So, when you got this project, what did you want to infuse? What was that perspective you want to bring in, your directorial vision into this film, into this huge 17 films so far, huge Hollywood franchise?
Well, I mainly wanted to infuse my wallet with some money.
Funny?
Infuse my children with food, and infuse my mortgage with some payments. But apart from that, I was here actually when they approached me, and I was editing Hunt for the Wilder People, and thanks.
Yeah, you're
I didn't know you guys were fans of people editing movies here. And so I was just like, we had a little house down the road. I just said down the road, I don't know where it was. And then they asked me to come and pitch on this, or just if I was interested in making one of these films. And to be honest, it wasn't really part of my plan to make one of these movies, but I became interested, and I also wanted to work with Chris, who was a friend of mine. I knew he was funny, and I thought that would be fun to do something like that. Interestingly, it's okay because it's mine. Alright, I love you, baby. They've just been eating fries for 5 days. That's holidays, that's what holidays are. Interesting fun fact, never told anyone the story before. I was supposed to go, I had my 40th 2 years ago, and a whole lot of friends. I wasn't actually waiting for them, of course, but thank you, you two people in your 40s who understand what it's like. It's a celebration, it's really cool. So anyway, I was supposed to go to LA to meet with Marvel, and I ended up sending a whole lot of suitcases and stuff back with my friends back to New Zealand after my party, and I put all of our passports into the suitcases. And a Sunday night I was like supposed to fly out. We foreigners can't fly without passports domestically here. So I said to my agent, you know what? This is the universe telling me not to bother. You know, I shouldn't really bother pitching on this Thor thing. She said, no. Screw the universe. Go to the airport. Get on the plane. I get up. I go to the airport, and I show my New Zealand driver's license to the boys at customs. They laughed in my face, and then they got more people that, hey bro, come over, have a look at this, and they all cracked up because it does. It sort of just looks like this sort of fake sort of thing, and yeah, that's it there. It's no like holograms and any of that stuff. None of that fancy stuff. Anyway, they said you've got to have more paperwork, and I had like this one little contract from the work I was doing on Moana for Disney, and I said, oh, I got this like thing here, and I'm like, oh, you're working on Moana? I was like, yeah. Get on the plane. So, whoever those boys were, because of them, is probably why I got this job.
Oh, wow. Let's open it up to the audience. I know you guys have lots of questions, so. Yeah, up there.
One.
Yeah, one.
I noticed your sense of humor from your earlier films actually made it into Thor, and I'm wondering what the creative process was like between you and the writers. I hear you in this movie, so that's why I was curious.
I think I know what you're asking me. There's like a three-pronged question. There was a compliment in there, I think. Oh, turn up the sound!
I gotta say, I'm proud of you all. This revolution has been a huge success. Yay us! Pat on the back. Pat on the back. Come on. No? Me too, because I've been a big part of it. Can't have a revolution without somebody to overthrow. So, you're welcome. And it's a tie.
So, I mean, Jeff Goldblum's a pretty dapper man, but you're a pretty dapper man too. Do you guys all dapper each other?
It was a big dap fest, yeah.
Dap fest?
Yeah. There's a lot of dapping going on. The writer and I got on very well, and a lot of the film was like, we came up with new jokes and we ad-libbed a lot of stuff and on the day, but we always did a version of the script.
Yes, go ahead.
This is gonna be a bit geeky, but do you know who Beta Ray Bill is? He's like a horse skull face with Thor. And did you think about maybe putting him? Yeah. Yeah. Love Beta.
He's on the building.
Yes.
Okay, well, yeah. So you knew that?
No, I was like, I didn't know if that was you.
You wanted confirmation. It's him.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think Marvel would let you direct
No.
the 80s flashback scene with Thor?
Yeah, I had this idea for a flashback scene where you cut back and it's when Thor was a kid and he's like this. He's like this. Everyone, this is Matewa, and she was born here in Kailua 2 years ago. Questions for the 2-year-old? Yeah, and it was just this flashback, which was Thor was like this clumsy little kid, and everyone had giant shoulder pads and mullets. And we might still try and do that.
Could you do it as a one-shot?
Could be.
DVD.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kia ora, by the way. Taika. Real quick, in a perfect world, no studios being dicks or anything like that. What comic book, no matter what universe, would you like to do next? Couple of character team.
Man. Yeah, that's what you're saying. I don't know. I collected a lot of comics when I was a kid, but all of them have been made. All of them have been made into films now. Yeah, I don't know. No, I haven't really thought about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, I was just wondering, how important was it for you to put like New Zealand culture in a mainstream film like that?
The New Zealand culture. Well, I'm not breastfeeding, by the way. Well, there's a lot of that in Australian references as well. In the film, there's like all the spaceships are named after like Australian cars. The Holden, Commodore. Yeah, Australians get that. There's the spaceship that they fly out of Sakar on is we took the Aboriginal flag and like just shifted all the colours around and like just sort of laid it over the top of the spaceship. So which I thought was pretty cool. Yeah, there's like little things like that in it, but there's not a lot of New Zealand in it other than like a lot of the weird jokes and my character.
Oh, and your character is inspired by, is it bouncers, right?
Yeah, that character is inspired by like doormen from Auckland. Well, just doormen in general, but especially like Polynesian doormen and in Auckland especially. They're like the biggest guys, and you walk over and oh, can I come in, please? No, sorry, man, we're at capacity tonight. Yeah, also, nah, not with those shoes or that face. So, man, try again next weekend, eh? Giants, but the most beautiful, gentle, gentle even when they're breaking your kneecaps.
Okay, yeah, you.
So you said that the only part of Moana that stayed was exterior ocean. Are there any running gags that you want to share from the original script, or is there going to be a way to read the original script anytime?
I don't know. I didn't get to keep any of that. He was asking about the original script for Moana. Yeah. I don't know. I was busy. You'll never know.
Okay,
You'll never know my jokes.
Have you thought about making another vampire movie?
Not make another vampire movie. What? The werewolf one. Shut up. Suddenly you change your tune. Oh, now you're my mate.
Can you tell us about some any upcoming projects, perhaps Kira?
I'm not sure if I'm doing that yet, but I am doing an animation called Bubbles, which is a stop-motion animation based on the life and times of Michael Jackson's chimpanzee. Yes.
I was curious about some of the reshoots that we saw in the trailers that got changed before the final movie. Specifically, like where the hammer gets.
Yeah, in the trailer, Helen catches the hammer in an alleyway, in New York alleyway. And then we realized alleyways aren't cool anymore. Norwegian fields are cool. And we changed it. I don't know.
So there's been critique that Marvel music in previous Marvel films are kind of generic. Can you tell us more about the soundtrack of this film?
I can tell you a lot about the soundtrack of this film. It was basically all scored by Mark Mothersbaugh from Devo. He's a genius. He's done many movies before. I think this in particular, I totally understand the comments that people have made about previous themes. I can't actually really hum the theme to many movies. Maybe like, don't even know Star Wars. But this what we wanted to go for in this film was like a more 70s, 80s like synthesizer, kind of very like. Do you know who Jean-Michel Jarre is? Like his stuff.
In the back, go ahead.
What was your favorite part about making Thor Ragnarok?
My favourite part about making Thor Ragnarok was the catering. Because on my independent movies, there's just carrot sticks, pieces of celery, and like one of those like little things of hummus, and everyone comes in like stabs the hummus, and that's it. Then I'm usually cutting up those carrots. But this was like 3 types of animal, 7 types of vegetables. That's it. But also working with, we had just had a lot of fun making the film. So I was joking around all day long with these guys, all the, those actors, other celebrities, pretty much all my best friends now. Just like hanging out with Anthony Hopkins and whatever. Tony. So yeah, I guess just hanging around with those guys and just rubbing shoulders, literally, just going, hey, Kate Blanchett.
Like that. All right.
Rub your shoulder.
Rub your shoulder. Yeah, go ahead. Speak.
Everyone speak.
Everyone speak. Go for it.
Just shout it out. I'll go.
Winner. That's all. Hey, come on, guys.
Anyway, as someone who's interested in computer generation in films, what was the most difficult CGI aspect of this film to do?
I don't know. Because I didn't do any of it. You'll have to ask all those people in the credits who went up, 5,000 people who were like, I know what they do. And I'm not going to learn what they do. I'm old.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
First off,
I'm disappointed you're not wearing a romper. But, can you share with us a behind the scenes, like funny story that you're privy to as director for Thor?
Nah, there weren't any funny behind the scenes stories. Honestly, I keep thinking I should come up with a story. Nothing happened. Sure. Chris died and we got an android.
Okay, in the back over there. Go ahead. Go ahead. In the back over there.
Yeah.
Oh, what are the business names?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I got a question.
Okay, well, I'll do.
What are your feelings about Jack Kirby? I saw a lot of Jack Kirby influences in the movie, and I really liked it.
Oh, good. My feelings are very positive. Get right out of my face. We really wanted to use a lot of his designs and use all of his artwork as inspiration in Sakura. You, who stood up bravely.
Do you have any advice for aspiring filmmakers?
Yes, my advice for aspiring filmmakers is decide whether or not you like money, for a start. Because, well, I'm probably an exception to the rule now. But there's not much money. It's really just about sticking it out, and it's a really tough slog. I just realised I've been doing this for what year is it? 14 years. I know. 12 years of those little independent films and stuff, but yeah, just trying to you got to tell stories that are I think true to you, and even though this is a story about a rich kid from outer space trying to get home because of psycho sisters in his house, it's still like I've tried to infuse it with a lot of me and my kind of experiences and who I am.
Okay, we have time for 2 more questions. Yeah, over there.
72 more questions.
Are you ever going to reply back to Jack Black on his challenge?
Yeah!
For using our good song?
Well, that was a challenge issued specifically to Thor, so no.
Thank you.
Are you going to continue to use a lot of New Zealand actors in your films? And the second part, are you going to make a sequel to Scarface?
Yes and no. I'm just pointing random.
Are you going to possibly do anything on Polynesian mythology, like Thor in that way, like Maui, and besides Moana?
Polynesian Thor. Four.
Okay, good.
As someone who's made movies about small island communities and has had pretty good success doing so, what advice would you give someone who wants to make a movie set in a place like this?
Set in a place like this?
Yeah, like Hawaii.
I don't really know the infrastructure here too much. In New Zealand, we've got a film commission, and that's it. That's who you apply to for funding, and that's sort of how I've done it over the years. I mean, all of my films were shot in New Zealand, except for this, and that was in Australia. But yeah, I just get all my mates to help, and you call in them many, many favors, and we all know what that's like. Run out of friends pretty quick.
Okay, good.
So, how much of Jeff Goldblum's dialogue was improv? And second question, are you guys now best friends?
His 79.4% of his dialogue was improvised. Though I just improvised that number, so who knows? He is not my best friend. Why? He's one of my best friends. I've rubbed shoulders with him.
Go ahead.
How would you feel about characters that you've brought to this movie, like Valkyrie and Korg and Meek? since there probably isn't going to be a Thor 4, being in a movie like Guardians 3?
Negativity, man. Yeah, what's your superpower? Just bumming people out? Oh man, it would nice to come here just to find out there wouldn't be a full what? Hey, maybe there won't. Well, we've got a rock guy. We've got an insect with knives for hands. Diversity, brother.
Go ahead.
I'm not answering any questions, I'm just saying stuff now.
So up on my voice, I kind of swallowed a doobie, but
Me too.
thanks. I noticed you're very quick on your feet, and I've been doing some improv for a while. Exactly. So I want to ask if that experience, or if you did improv, or if that helped you behind the scenes, and how so?
No. A little bit. It was more just, it was actually acting and when writing stuff with my friends and working with my friends a lot that helped me because the way that we work together, I had to like find that place with these actors, become friends with them so that I could just say, nah, that was shit, do it again. You know, instead of like, oh, hey, don't forget, you know, yeah, when you were a baby, your character was a baby, sort of traumatized by this incident. And, you know, I don't want to get into heads like that, please just do it fast.
I think one last one, definitely the last one. You want to take it?
Everyone yell it out, all
Go for it.
your final question.
Star Wars. Are you involved in Star Wars?
I'm not Star Wars.
I
was 3.
One more.
Okay, one more. What do you think you could win?
I can't come back, that's not a good question.
I was going to ask, this is the first time we've seen Hulk as a character as opposed to just like Hulk smash. What was it like building him out as a character that had some interactions with the other Avengers?
He's the most interesting version of Hulk because he's that duality going on between him and Banner. And Mark was brilliant at doing that, like just switching between the two and, you know, in the same moment, sometimes saying stuff that Hulk has said as Banner and putting those lines in and stuff. Yeah, it was cool working with the Incredible Hulk. What are you doing? Just waving at me or telling me to go away?
So I'm an aspiring actor. Any advice on that? I hear you just signed on to a sequel. Any dibs on that?
A sequel to what? I did not. I did not sign on to anything.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't.
Last question, you go.
Do you ever choose what Stan Lee wants to do? Because he always makes appearances.
Stan Lee, that was on a few times. I was actually Star Trek. He was pretty cool. But Stan Lee, no, we just write the stuff for him. He just does whatever anyone wants. He like created all of these characters, and he says that his like thing he's most proud of is all these cameos that he doesn't.
All right, thanks. Thank you for leading down with his family. Let's give him another round of applause. Taika Waititi. Thank you for coming.